Boy, I don't know, accomplishments are great, but it's nothing like getting to hear Larry Reese read your bio out. You feel like you've just scored a touchdown out there. That's very exciting. Well, congratulations to you all, students and employers and parents, and welcome. We are so extraordinarily proud of you. And I want to give you a little bit of insight right now into how you got here, how you ended up in this room being recognized here today as a nominee for Student Employee of the Year. You rebelled. Now, it probably didn't feel like that. You probably took a job and you decided to do that job as well as possible. But see, that isn't what we expected. We have a picture of what a college student should be, of how a college student should behave. And so we don't figure that we should expect much. You're just students, after all. Kids. We call you kids because we think you don't have the maturity, the responsibility, the ownership to do what we do. But you all here today, somebody forgot to tell you that. Somewhere along the way, you didn't get the message that we expect this of you. Or more likely, somebody did tell you that. You did get that message. You heard that we expect you to be like everybody else, and you went, nah. You said, it's cool that you expect me to be here, but I'm here. And if I work hard at this, I could probably be here. And you're going to have to deal with that. You can expect me to be average, but I'm not average. I'm a rebel. I'm extraordinary. You made a choice to rebel, to be extraordinary, and that is how you got here. And you can disagree with me, that's fine, but you're wrong, because the fact is, I have empirical proof. See, I have evidence that you are extraordinary because somebody who knows you, who sees you every day, who works alongside of you and knows what it takes to do what you do, has said, this person is extraordinary. So they nominated you, and so you're here. You see, it's actually very important to me that you understand this, that you believe this, or nothing else that I'm going to talk about will make any sense. You've made the choice to rebel. Sorry, Mom and Dad, you raised a rebel. You've made the choice to be more, to do more. You've made the choice to stand up, to stand out, to lead. You've made the choice to be extraordinary. And because you have made that choice, everything else matters. See, it matters where you go. What I think is so cool about this group, one of the decisions that made you extraordinary is you took a job in most cases because you needed a job. What happened, though, is that you made the choice to make that job into something more. You made it something better. You walked into a coffee shop or an office or a store or the Wondatorium and you made it better. And so it made you better. And better shapes everything that happens next for you. At least that's what happened for me. My freshman year of college, I took a job in the admission office at TCU because I needed a job. And part of my job was to go to our big visit day event that we had every month and clean up, schlep boxes, lug things back to the office. But one day, I had a moment. See, at the closing, a student who had worked her way up into an intern position got up, she read from a prepared script, and she sent everybody home on their way. But one day, she didn't show up. I don't know why. I think it's because it was my moment. And she wasn't there, so the admission counselor who was in charge of the program grabbed literally the nearest student to her, who was me, thrust a piece of paper in my hand and said, "Get up there and give the closing." Now, I have since learned that more people are afraid of public speaking than are afraid of death, and so this was a very bold move on both of our parts. But I said, nah. I said, this is my moment. I'm going to take this. And so I did it. I survived. And she asked me to keep speaking. She asked me to start speaking at the lunch for the admission office. So I did that, and that went well. They started asking me to travel with them as a student to tell my story. So when an admission counselor position came open as I was graduating from college, they gave me that opportunity as well. And I started for 3 years. I got to travel around the country recruiting students to TCU. And then I was introduced to this whole world at the university called student affairs. People who help students learn and grow and develop. And so I switched over there. And that was when I realized this is my calling. This is what I am meant to do. So I got a doctorate and I came to OSU, go Pokes, and now I am here. And it's because 18 years ago, I took a job as a freshman in college because I needed a paycheck. And when a moment arose, I rebelled. And I became this person. Now, I'm not suggesting that you all make careers out of your student employment jobs, although I feel like your supervisors would be okay with that if you decided to do that. What I am suggesting, though, is that now in this job, you're building something. You're building something that you're going to carry with you for your career. When you made the choice to be extraordinary, you begin building skills and experiences and networks. You begin making a difference in your own life as well as in your job. So it matters where you go. And it matters what you do. See, these awards are so cool to me because we're honoring today student employees. And that first part, that student part, that's one we need to make sure and emphasize. You're here not just because you're these great employees, but because you're students and employees. And one part of that relates to the other part of that. And that is why it matters what you do. See, about 30% of adults in the United States have a college degree. About 30%. That percentage is lower for the state of Oklahoma. So the fact that you're here now, not just as employees, but as students, is significant. It means you have opportunities that others don't. It means you have responsibilities that others don't. See, we need you to lead. We need you to be extraordinary, to rebel. You are the people who will create the world that we live in. Make it good. There's a Nike ad that came out a few years ago, and it goes like this. It says, all your life, you are told the things you cannot do. All your life, they will say you're not good enough or talented enough. They'll say you're the wrong height or the wrong weight or the wrong type to play this or be this or achieve this. They will tell you no, 1,000 times no, until all the no's become meaningless. All your life, they will tell you no, quite firmly and very quickly. They will tell you no, and you will tell them yes. You are the people who said yes. You took a job to help you pay your way through school, and you turned that job into a way to be extraordinary, to say, I will make this happen. You can say no, but you're not me. And so what you have done matters, and it matters what you do. And finally, it matters what you leave behind. The people who have spent any time at all around my office have been forced to listen to the soundtrack for the musical Hamilton over and over and over because I love the soundtrack to the musical Hamilton. I'm a really big fan of that musical. Now, to clarify, I have not seen the musical Hamilton. You can't get tickets to the musical Hamilton. I know like one person who has seen the musical Hamilton. If anyone wants to take me to see the musical Hamilton, I'm in. Like, forget the rest of the ceremony. I'll get on a plane right now. We can go. But one of the themes that recurs throughout this musical is the idea of a legacy. What is your legacy? What do you do? And Alexander Hamilton in the musical, he says this. What is a legacy? A legacy is planting seeds in a garden you will never get to see. That is a legacy. And I find that so useful because most of you, unlike me, will actually move on from your student employee position. Most of you will graduate and will leave it behind. So what will you leave behind with it? What will be better because you were there? Who will be better because you were there? See, I found that legacy can be a thing, but usually it's a person. It's someone that you have helped to grow, to develop, to feel safe. The nominations for this award asks your nominators to identify the way that you have made a difference in this position, the legacy you leave behind. Some of you have had the kind of impact at your jobs that most people don't have in their careers until they have been there decades. You have changed for good the standard of your job, the experience of the job, and the expectation of what it means to be a student employee. You've left a legacy. Well done, but don't stop. See, extraordinary isn't a choice you make once for all and it's done. It's a choice that you continue to make, a standard you choose to uphold. So choose it. Be the person that we know, that we have empirically proven you to be, because we need you to be that. See, I haven't seen Hamilton, but I have seen the movie La La Land, which was the other thing that blew up pop culture this year. There's a song right at the crucial moment of that movie when Emma Stone's character has to decide who she's going to be. And she sings this: "A bit of madness is key to give us new colors to see. Who knows where it will lead us, and that's why they need us. So bring on the rebels, the ripples from pebbles, the painters and poets and plays. Here's to the fools who dream, foolish as they may seem. Here's to the hearts that ache. Here's to the mess we make." You all are the rebels, the ones who have decided to dream, to be more, to do more. And so it matters. It matters where you go. It matters what you do. It matters what you leave behind. So thank you for deciding to matter, for rebelling. Thank you for being foolish enough to decide to be extraordinary. Thank you for using this job, this education, this moment as the point from which you start to change the world. We need you. So thank you and congratulations.